This is the Prime Minister who is about to reach the Ayodhya station, the Ayodhya Dham station, from where he will be inaugurating the new junction. He'll be flagging off a Vande Bharat train as well. And then he will be making his way to the airport. Bringing back onto our coverage our heroes on the ground, Poulomi and Gaurav. Gaurav is at a venue where there will be a sabha addressed by the Prime Minister a little later. Poulomi is at the airport. She in fact landed at the Ayodhya airport earlier today as well. Historic occasion. Gaurav, quickly coming to you first. The railway station is the Prime Minister's first stop. But as we can see in these amazing images, the Prime Minister is taking his time. The crowds are out there. He's in his element. Flower petals being showered. Jai Shri Ram and, Modi slogans being screamed by the crowds there. This is Prime Minister in Naya Ayodhya. The return of Modi to Ayodhya also, in a sense, because this has been something that has been very close to his heart, Gaurav.
Shiv, you're absolutely right. Ayodhya Vasis say they waited 14 years. 14 years Vanvas was when Maryada Purushottam Shri Ram left Ayodhya. And then this generation says they waited 500 years for a Divya Bhavya Ram temple to be constructed. Never, not for once, giving up their claim to the point, to that place where Maryada Purushottam Shri Ram was born, where Ram Lala was born. So it is very clear in their hearts, in their minds, in their faith that this was the point, where a place where Maryada Purushottam Shri Ram was born. All the struggles over centuries, Shiv, finally there is a Ram temple that's coming up, and the manner in which that Ram temple is coming up. I've spoken to Champat Rai, I've spoken to Nripendra Mishra, I've spoken to those people in Larsen and Tubro, all of those who've been involved in the construction of this Divya Bhavya Ram temple. And Shiv, like the wait for 500 years, it actually promises to be a temple that will survive another 1,000 years at least. That's the effort. It should be grand. It should reflect India's civilization. It should very, very strongly reflect what the Sanatan Dharma stands for. So every aspect of the temple, Shiv, will have the Sanatan Dharma reflected and in a way coming across. Ayodhya, the airport, the railway station shows the civilization. The Suryavanshi Parampara shown on highways here. The street lamps reflect the rising sun. You get to the temple, Shiv, everything at the temple is all about the Sanatan Parampara, the manner in which construction is happening. All gods and goddesses to be pleased before Ram Lala's idol is taken out and taken to the temple. How do you please all the gods and goddesses, Devis and Devtas? Shiv, there will be a special Anushtan for 7 days. There will be Godan that will happen. In a way, seeking forgiveness of the gods, that while constructing this temple, if we have made any mistake, please forgive us and please bless us on this journey. So all along, Shiv, the Godan will happen. Varun Devta ki puja, Surya Devta ki puja, Vastu puja, all of that will happen over 7 days. Donations will be given to people, and then Ram Lala will be taken for a Nagar Brahman. The Lord, before his consecration inside the temple, will be taken for a Nagar Brahman, and then his idol will be installed, consecrated at the Ram temple. So every vidhi, every vidhan is being followed to the T, Shiv.
It's an amazing non-stop schedule of events right up to the consecration. And Gaurav has been fronting that for us. Poulomi is also live with us. Gaurav, I'm coming right back to you because the Prime Minister is going to be reaching the railway station very shortly. India Today's Abhishek Mishra is going to be standing by to give us a sense of what happens inside the railway station. Poulomi, the airport will be the next stop. After the railway station, the Prime Minister will be inaugurating the airport as well. Is everything ready there at the Ayodhya airport? You broke those amazing first images, Poulomi, of the Ayodhya Dham airport, which has a long name as well. What's that looking like? When do operations start? What will the Prime Minister effectively be inaugurating?
Well, the Prime Minister will be inaugurating the Maharishi Valmiki International Airport, Ayodhya Dham. That's right behind me. Pawan, if you can just turn the camera around. That, as you see, is the gate which leads into the airport complex. At the moment, of course, we're on the outside because the Prime Minister has just landed over there, so the security is extremely tight, and he will be back here to inaugurate that airport, which is a swanky new state-of-the-art airport over there. In terms of, the size of that airport, 6,500 square meters of the new terminal building. It is expected to handle a capacity of about 600 peak hour passengers, 10 lakh passengers annually, and this will be expanded. This is only phase one of the airport project. Behind me on the other side, of course, because my camera person Pawan has turned the camera around, you can see the crowds that are walking into the meeting venue. The meeting venue, the Sabha that the Prime Minister will be addressing, Shiv, is right next to the airport. So after he's done inaugurating the redeveloped Ayodhya Dham Railway Station, he will come to the Maharishi Valmiki International Airport, Ayodhya Dham. He will inaugurate the new airport and subsequently move straight to the public meeting venue where these crowds are headed to, chanting Jai Shri Ram. We've been seeing these crowds and throngs of them, of course, moving into that venue since early this morning. It's a very cold, chilly morning here in Ayodhya. It's freezing cold, the winds are blowing, but clearly that has not deterred these crowds who keep continuing to come in large numbers. Speaking of the airport, of course, that is going to be another gateway for many pilgrims and devotees who will be coming in to Ayodhya. Earlier it was the railway station, or if you were taking a flight, you landed in Lucknow and then, of course, drove all the way to Ayodhya. But today, of course, that airport will be thrown open. Commercial flight operations, of course, Shiv, will start in the month of January. Already Indigo and Air India Express have announced that they will be flying direct flights between Delhi and Ayodhya, Mumbai Ayodhya, Ahmedabad Ayodhya, Bengaluru Ayodhya, as well as Kolkata Ayodhya. But today, of course, the two airlines will be flying their inaugural flights as well. So clearly, as soon as the Prime Minister inaugurates the airport, the first flight from Delhi will land over here. The inaugural flight, of course, it's not a commercial flight operation. It will land over here. Air India Express is flying one of its swankiest new Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircraft that it has just received, the first of the bulk Airbus Boeing order that Air India has made. The two of those first B787 MAX have in fact landed here in India, and they will be, of course, flown into Ayodhya today. The first of those, one of those, of course, by Air India Express as well. So clearly, as far as the terminal building is concerned, we've of course seen it from only the outside, but we've seen the whole pictorial depiction of the epic tale of Ramayana inside the terminal building itself. So when you walk into the terminal building, the sense of the aviation authorities is that when you walk into that building, it should give you a feeling of which city you've entered. So it should depict a little bit of the city, its culture, its heritage, what it is famous for. Ayodhya, of course, known as the birthplace of Lord Ram. So when you walk into that airport terminal building, all around you, of course, you will see the shikharas, which are the spires, and then, of course, you will see the pictorial representation of the epic tale of Ramayana. Shiv.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, there must be an important day today, because remember that today is the 30th of December. There are about 23 days to go before the consecration of the Ram Mandir itself. But what you're seeing today, viewer, brought to you by Gaurav Polami, Abhishek Milan, who I'll be going to in just a moment, she's at the railway station, is the enormous infrastructure that's coming up in the city of Ayodhya. You know, when we say that the city is getting a makeover, all of this is going to be very important for Ayodhya. This will allow devotees from across the country and across the world to reach Ayodhya, to be part of the Ram Mandir celebrations after the inauguration. There will probably be international flights directly linking to Ayodhya as well, given the huge draw for Hindu devotees all across the world. But might I also add, and let me remind all of our viewers, that this is not a railway station and an airport is not just about Ayodhya. This kind of connectivity will have a cascading effect and benefit the region at large. That part of Uttar Pradesh will benefit from it in terms of jobs, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of connectivity, and this will lead to the spillover impact of progress. So let's make no mistake, this is by no means only about the Ram Mandir. Of course, this is coming up in part of the overall project to spruce up Ayodhya and, make it world ready in many ways along with the Ram Mandir, but this benefits more than just Ayodhya and will have many other effects as well. Milan is at the railway station, the Ayodhya Dham junction, which is going to be inaugurated very shortly by the Prime Minister. Milan, Vande Bharat train to be flagged off by the Prime Minister. Something that's been very close to his heart, the entire Vande Bharat train program. The one from Ayodhya is going to be quite special. Take us through what's going to happen. The Prime Minister will be reaching your location very shortly, Milan.
Well, yes, Shiv. In fact, the Prime Minister's cavalcade is very close to the railway station, and we're just showing you visuals from outside because of security protocols. We are standing at a distance, but that is the railway station, the top part of which replicates the beautiful Ram temple there, and it's been replicated on the railway station as well. And as you were speaking about connectivity, of course, the PM is going to launch 6 more Vande Bharats, but the very important train that you see right next to the station that's been parked here is the Amrit Bharat. And the fact remains that a lot of devotees who will come to Ayodhya will be making this journey through train as is being anticipated by the government. Of course, trains and railways are a more affordable, solution to traveling, especially when you come with the, members of your family for a tirth, or so to say, for a temple visit. And that is exactly why Amrit Bharat train will be flagged off by the PM. This one, you're hearing chants of Lord Shri Ram from inside the train. There are students who are sitting inside the train right now. We've been told that the PM may, after flag off, will perhaps sit in the train for a while, speak to a few students as well. We were able to speak with them. Of course, they're very excited, and this train will go all the way to Gorakhpur, and we also will be on board this particular train as it flags off. And of course, as I just show you the security arrangements as well, everybody has been cleared off from this particular area, Shiv. And as we were speaking, it's not just this particular train that's connecting Ayodhya to Darbhanga, but there's another Amrit Bharat train that's connecting Malda to Bengaluru. So it's a connection all across the country, and of course a lot of trains that could connect to Ayodhya as well, and all corners of the country are being connected there. So one train from Malda to Bengaluru will be going. That will also be a Amrit Bharat train. This is a sleeper coach train. We'll have general coaches and a non-AC train. So obviously the cost of travel will also be lesser. So we were talking about affordable travel. Of course, there's an airport at Ayodhya right now, but largely people are expected to travel in trains. And the footfall at the station, of course, is going to be high. Of course, after the consecration ceremony that was scheduled to take place on 22nd of January, the expectation is that more than 20 to 30,000 people could land up at the station every day. And the station has been built at a capacity where more than lakhs of people could be accommodated at one point in time. There'll be food plazas, there will be waiting rooms, and all these state-of-the-modern art facilities have been created. But of course, aesthetic and ethos of Ayodhya has been maintained, and that is why you see that structure there once again in front of you. Replicates the top part of the Mandir and looks exactly like the stonework at the Mandir that has been put up right now. And of course, excited people here waiting for the Prime Minister to come and flag off these trains. And of course, operations will begin soon for the railways as well. And it's been a infrastructural push for the entire holy city, connecting it via rail, airports, as well as the roads. In fact, the PM on the cavalcade, the roads have been expanded so that people, when they travel through trains, they're able to walk all the way to the temple premises, to the Lata Chowk where he was right now. And all that has been taken care of ahead of the consecration ceremony as well, Shiv.
Okay, so Milan, one of the only reporters there on that railway station platform, bringing you live reporting from the station where the Prime Minister will be reaching very shortly. We'll, of course, get you all of those live pictures. Polami at the airport, Gaurav at the Sabha venue where the Prime Minister will be making his public address after inaugurating both the railway station as well as the airport.